I'm Steve Kramer. I'm a Florida family law and divorce attorney, and today we're going to talk about how text messages and emails can affect your divorce or paternity case. Now, if you're dealing with a divorce or a paternity action, you're going to have to prove certain elements in your case to get where you want to go. And let me tell you a story about a case recently. I represented a young man, and his ex-girlfriend had accused him of being violent with her and had filed for a domestic violence injunction. And a domestic violence injunction is basically where you seek to keep the other person away. And she wanted to keep him away from her and her kids, their kids together actually, and she wanted him to pay all kinds of money, and it was going to have a real impact on him because he would have lost his right to bear arms. There would have been all kinds of consequences, would have come up in background checks, like I said, all kinds of bad things. Anyway, she made all these accusations. She signed an affidavit saying he'd hit her, but there was no evidence like a police report to back it up. But she was very convincing when she went on the stand. She was crying and breaking down, and she had these very specific recollections. But what she didn't count on is that we had prepared for that. And the way that we prepared was we took these texts that she'd been sending him. All the while that she was accusing him of being, domestically violent. She'd been sending him texts, "Oh, I love you so much. I'm sorry I said all that. I'm just trying to, I was just trying to punish you. I was just trying to, make sure that you paid for what you've done, but I really want to be with you. And I know, none of this stuff is really real. But if you don't do this, I'm going to, this is going to happen." She sent all these texts, and guess what we did? She had her boo-hoo, and she cried in the stand and, put on a really great show. And then we went on, and we printed up all these text messages, and we put them in front of the judge, and you can probably guess what happened. They threw everything she claimed out. Not only that, but it destroyed her credibility. And you've got to be aware of how emails and texts can affect your case. Because if you have something to prove, then you can bring these emails and texts in. But you got to be careful about what you say, what you text, what you write. I'm telling you this because I deal with this stuff all the time. If you have any questions, pick up the phone. Give me a call. I'd be glad to talk about this or any other legal issue. Thanks for watching.